Puppies, one minute you're enjoying their cute little puppy breath, but the next you're wincing from the pain of their razor sharp teeth. Puppy nipping is rough. It's one of the biggest complaints I see from people who I'm helping through the training process, but don't worry, there's a way to curb it. Today we're going to talk about how. We're also going to talk about why puppies nip in the first place.
My name is Dr. Taylor Chastain Griffin, and I've dedicated my life to studying the human-animal bond. With a background as a dog trainer, mental health counselor, researcher, and therapy animal expert, my mission is to show others what happens when we become the people our dogs think we are.
When it comes to puppy mouthiness, let's first start with puppies nipping their humans. It's a real issue. It hurts. It can even break their skin. However, there are many trainers out there who are suggesting incorrect, disproven ways to stop nipping. They might say to hold the animal's mouth shut or pop them in the face. This is just suppressing the behavior, and on top of that, it's breaking down the relationship. As someone who's studied psychology in both humans and animals, it's my goal that we see how interconnected psychological principles are. Suppression, whether for animals or for people, is not behavioral change, and it comes with cost. When I walk you through how to correct nipping, I'm coming from a place of behavioral change, not just suppression, and I'm hoping to protect the relationship that you're building with your puppy. With nipping, our strategy in a nutshell is to prevent the behavior from happening and redirect it when it does. I know it sounds hippy-dippy. Trust me though, it works. I've raised dozens of dogs and I do not have problems with nipping when I follow these simple suggestions. As we talk about how to change the behavior, we should also talk about what's triggering the behaviors. I'll go to clients' house sometimes, they talk about how much their puppy is nipping, and I watch and see the kids in the home or even the adults in the home rough playing and wrestling with the animals, allowing nipping in 1 second and then getting really mad when it happens in the next. This sends very mixed signals to our dogs. We cannot do this. If we allow nipping at all, then we are creating the monster that we complain about. Another reason that puppies tend to nip is boredom. In any case that I've been called in to help with a puppy who is excessively nipping, I often find that there's some part of that pup's life where they're just not getting their needs met. And the owners don't have any bad intentions, sometimes they're just busy. I've seen it myself. I'll be gone for a few hours having left my pup in their crate and I come home, let them out, and they're acting crazy. Why? Because they have pent up energy just like we do as humans if we haven't gotten our needs met. If they're nipping, if they're just not succeeding with your training sessions, then we need to increase their stimulation, their mental stimulation, their physical activity. We need to make sure they're getting all of their needs met before we expect them to change this behavior. With so much of our ability to prevent nipping on us and on household items depending on our ability to redirect, we have to be prepared. We need toys like this all over our house when we have a puppy in this stage. When they start to nip you, when they start to nip something in your environment, you need to be able to give them these toys as the appropriate option. Try a lot of different things. Each dog is different and different kinds of breeds have variations in what they're going to go for. Some dogs like these soft plushy toys, some dogs like bones like this that have almost a massaging feature with a texture. And there's even some that are edible chew toys. With any of these, you want to make sure you're really closely supervising, make sure they're not inappropriately swallowing something that they shouldn't swallow. But these need to be everywhere so you can pull something out to show them, hey, chew this instead when you need to. I just got home from running errands. It's particularly wild around my house right now. All the dogs have extra energy, so if they're going to fail, now is the time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach down here in just a moment with my puppies and see how they respond. I'm going to touch their head versus other parts of their body and see what kind of nipping they might be doing. So I reach down here to Clove and pet her head. She's doing well with this. Even Nora. But see, you can see now, Nora just went to nip me when I pet her head. Now that happens a lot. It's really overstimulating when we come right away and touch the dog's head, but it's what we tend to do. So instead, we want to go rub other parts of their bodies. And even when you start taking them out in public, it's really important to practice advocating for them and setting them up for success. So if I took Clove out in public once she had all of her shots, I would direct people in how to best pet her. I'd say, she's still learning, so if you can pet her right here rather than on her head, then we'll all have a better experience. Puppy nipping doesn't just take place when they talk about them nipping us. It can also be puppy chewing and their mouthiness on other items in our home. Just like babies go through an oral fixation stage, so do puppies, and their little mouths are sore, so they're going to put things in their mouth all the time. So much of this is about controlling the environment. You have to make sure there aren't any toys, shoes, electrical cords within their reach. If they are, they're going to go for them. When they do, we need to let them know that's not what we want. I tend to do a quick no reward marker, let them know I don't like that, and then show them what they should chew instead. If they keep on going back to the same thing and failing, we need to get up. We need to change the environment. We need to try something new. Go outside for a quick potty break. It might be time to take a break in the crate. If they keep failing, then we have to set them up for success in another way. Never underestimate the power of pivoting to a short training session. The best training occurs in short, frequent bursts, usually just a few minutes at a time. If your pup is having a hard time succeeding, if they're being really mouthy and not redirecting, let's try some mental stimulation. Go over the cues you've been working on with them using really high-value treats. You might try teaching something new, but mainly focus on things they've practiced so they can rehearse succeeding. These short bursts of training really wear a dog's mind out, and you'll likely find that once you've done this for a few minutes, the pup won't go back to chewing when you resume your previous activity. In addition to our puppies nipping us or chewing our furniture and other items in our house, we might often see that mouthiness impacts the other pets in your home. Now, puppies playing together with other litter mates are going to be very dramatic, very mouthy, and very loud, and that's usually okay. They learn a lot by playing together. They correct one another. They let the other puppies know how much pressure is too much. It's one of the main reasons we try to keep puppies with their litter mates for up to 10 weeks at least, if they don't have a home they're going into where they'll get that socialization any earlier. But if your puppies are nipping and playing inappropriately with your adult dogs, you need to step in. I have an adult dog, Haven, who's raised puppies herself. She's great with puppies, but it's unfair to me to leave it to her to correct them all the time. If they're messing with her, then I need to step in, again, redirect them, advocate for Haven, and show them what's appropriate. With puppies, it's all about teaching the right behaviors early on. I joke with my colleagues that having puppies in your home is a lot like having baby dinosaurs, and they go through stages where they're going to make mistakes. But with nipping, we need to prevent this behavior from occurring as much as possible, as proactively as possible. It's inherently very rewarding. They get needs met when they nip. Their mouth is sore. They're in an oral fixation stage, and often they get a reaction out of you. So from the very beginning, if we set up their environment for success, if we stop doing things that are encouraging nipping and we show them what we want them to do instead, we're setting them up to go through this stage and then be a well-behaved dog who does not nip as an adult.